Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to flush a hot water heater. It's very, very simple. Saves you 250 to 300 bucks, maybe even more in some places. Very, very easy. I'll show you all about the kit that I've got and how to do it. So check it out. So with these tankless hot water heaters, if you have really good water, being that's not hard and full of minerals and whatnot, then you can probably get away with doing this every 3 to 4 years, upwards to 5. In my situation, the water that we have where I live is very, very hard. It corrodes a lot of things. So this is something that I do every year, or should do. I'll tell you now, I have not done this in about 2 years. I've just dropped the ball and keep putting it off. And as you can see, the filter is pretty corroded. So it definitely needs to be done before I have any issues. So my water that I'm about to flush through here is probably going to be pretty dirty. So I'm curious to see what it looks like. All right, this is the kit that I got. I want to say I got it off of Amazon, maybe $120. Don't quote me on that. I don't quite remember. But it comes with a little pump, submersible sump pump. It comes with a bucket, 2 hoses, and then a little bag of solution for one use. Obviously, I've already used that solution. And what I use is this haymaker. It's a tankless hot water descaler. And this is just a quart, and you use this entire quart for one use. So it's 1 gallon of water and that whole container. So 1 gallon to 1 quart. And that's it. So now I'm gonna show you how to plug everything up. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the gas. Remember, when it's perpendicular to the pipe here, it's off. The valve is closed. There's no gas to the unit. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna unplug it. And then I'm gonna turn off the water coming out of the, I'll start with the into the unit. I guess it doesn't really matter. And out of the unit. So now there's no water going into the unit. This is water from the street. It goes through, gets hot, comes out right here. All right, now, newer hot water heaters should be installed this way, where they have these blowout valves, whatever you want to call them. If you don't have these, you're going to have to call your plumber and get them to come install those for you. And yeah, see, I can't even see all that gunk on there. Oh yeah, this is going to be dirty. I might have to go get some pliers to get these off. Anyway, if you don't have these valves, you're going to have to get somebody to come install those for you. This is what we're going to hook these hoses to flush this water through the system. All right, I did get it off. You can see it's very gunky. Okay, so the hose connected to the pump, which is this one right here, is going to be connected to our street water valve, the cold water. Okay, that's going to be sucking the water through the system. Okay, and then the other hose will be connected to the hot. And then when I turn the pump on, the pump will suck water through the inlet where the water comes into the system, flush it all through the system, through the hot water valve, and back into the bucket, creating our loop. So I'm just going to set that hot water in there just like that. And now I've got to go get me some pliers so I can turn these 2 valves on. Yours might just have a little twist. It'd be nice if this one does, and I forgot that I need a plier. So I'm gonna get some pliers, turn those, and we'll be ready to go. All right, I've got those valves open. I've got the loop connected. Remember, pump to the cold water, hot water valve, straight to the bucket. I've got my solution mixed up. Now we're just gonna plug in the pump. And that's it. That's gonna pump that solution You already see how nasty it's looking. Very cloudy, lots of gunk. So let that run for about 45 minutes. I believe that's what I usually do. I never really look to see what this says. Yeah, 30 to 45 minutes. So especially since I should be doing this every year and I haven't, I'm gonna run it for 45 minutes. I'll let that go. See how nasty that looks when I get back. It's already pretty nasty. That's just a few seconds. So I'll be back in 45 minutes. All right, it's been about 45 minutes. Golly, that is some nasty, nasty sludge. You can see it just built up. Very bad. So, very glad that I did this, and I need to make sure that I do not wait more than a year again. So now it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug it. And the last thing that we're gonna do is, well, there's two more steps. First thing is we're gonna flush some fresh water through here to kind of blow out any impurities that may be in there. So to do that, all I'm gonna do is take off the cold water, leave the hot water on, and then run in from the street. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, now that I've got the cold water service valve back closed, this is off. I've still got the hot water attached and on. And instead of flushing water back into the bucket, just to fill it up and make that harder for me later, I'm just going to angle it into the drain here. Since this is in the attic, there's a little drip tray just in case something was to happen. It wouldn't flood the attic and it would drain through the house system. So all I'm going to do is turn this back on, which is kind of stuck. So give me a second here. My gosh, does not want to open. There we go. Ooh. See how there's still a lot of gunk in there. So I'm gonna let that run for about 2 minutes just to make sure everything is flushed out. If you didn't flush it out, all that nasty gunk would have been flowing through your pipes in the house. You can see now it's pretty clean when I spray around it now. I'm gonna let that run for about 2 minutes, and then we'll hook everything back up and clean the filter. All right, as you can see now, the water is nice and clear. 2 minutes flushed, and now I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this put back together. I'll get my pliers here. Turn this back off. There we go. This is going to come off here. That's pretty much it for the flushing. Now the last thing we're going to do is take this little filter out. This is a little screen filter. As you can see, it is disgusting. It's very corroded. Definitely is going to need a little cleaning, maybe even a wire brush. So I'm going to pull that out real quick, clean it, and then we can cut everything back on. As corroded as this thing was, it was not very easy to get out. You can see all that gunk in there. It's got some trash inside of it. All you do is stick your little pair of needle noses inside of there and twist it. It kind of broke just because it was so corroded. But that is still nasty, but a lot better than it was, honestly. I'm actually wondering if I should flush it again, and I might do that since it's been 2 years, and I probably will. If you have one as nasty as mine, you might want to just flush it twice just to be safe. I'm going to go get me another bottle of that Haymaker, and I'm going to do this whole process again. But for now, go ahead and get some more hot water in the house. Get this little screen pops off here. I don't know if I can do it one-handed or not, but I'm going to run that under the faucet and get it clean, put it back, and get the system running again. All right, well, I've got the filter back in. It's a little gross looking just on the edge here, but just gonna clean it off a little bit. It's fine. All right, well, the last thing to do is to get all the water going back through this thing. So I've got my hot water disconnected, my flush valve disconnected, turned off. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that back on. Turn the water to the street back on. Now I've got pressure flowing through it. Turn my gas back on. And then plug the unit back in. And that's it. And it's good to go. So make sure you do this every year if you have disgusting water in your area, like I do. And then you won't have any issues. Luckily, so far, I haven't had issues, but if I waited any longer, it's bound to happen. So anyway, very easy to do. Do it yourself. Save yourself about $250, $300, maybe even $400 in some places. This thing I went and looked up is $115 at Home Depot. This whole kit. That's probably about 20 bucks. I can't quite remember. But it's very easy to do. Save yourself some money. Get it done. All right, later.